I love Simply Manders' channel. I've watched it since I started doing CrossFit and I've always related to her mental health struggles and the way that she trains and her general approach to life. But this comment I can't agree with.
If you're trying to train for a competition, you cannot do the CrossFit class alone. You have to do accessory, skill, volume.
Yeah, you have to.
It was quite a flippant comment and I think I know where she's coming from. She may be referring to more elite competition or a higher level competition. However, I'm pretty sure she did Wodapalooza in the intermediate, so maybe not. My name's Beth and I'm an everyday CrossFit athlete. I post vlogs, I post about competitions and stuff in the CrossFit news. I am in the UK and it might be slightly different in America, but this is my take on the whole thing. I've been doing CrossFit for 6 years and my first competition I did 2 months into CrossFit. I've got a little bit of footage here so you can see what it was like. Obviously my technique was still quite bad. I couldn't do like double unders, I couldn't do pull-ups, I couldn't do toes to bar. It's called One and All. It is for one and all. It's literally for everybody. It's a competition that anyone can do no matter what level. At that time I was only doing classes and for the next few years I mainly only did classes, but I competed in probably about 20 different competitions. Most of them were like intermediate. I don't think I ever did a scaled competition, but there were sort of open ability competitions that I did. But there are competitions for beginners, intermediates, scaled, RX, elite. There's literally a competition for every level. There was one year where I did 13 competitions I think and podiumed about 11 of them and I was still only doing classes. I would occasionally throw a bit of like open gym stuff here and there, but I certainly wasn't doing any sort of open gym programming or anything special. It was just classes and then the occasional add-on on something that I'm weak at. I do add-ons in my programming now if there's something that I want to improve. Like at the moment I want to improve my stroke pull-ups, so I'm doing more of that, and I also love Olympic weightlifting, so I'm just doing extras of that alongside CrossFit, but you absolutely don't have to do that in order to compete. Over the last few years I have competed in loads of CrossFit competitions, only just doing classes. Recently I did One and All, which was so much fun. I also did Strength in Depth last year and I wasn't doing anything else other than classes, and that is a big competition that needs qualifiers. I think it's all about your class programming and whether that's hitting all of the things that you need to hit or not. So I'm going to show you today what my class programming is like. Bear in mind I only do about 4 days a week at the moment. People think you need to do like 6 days a week in order to be fit enough to compete, but that is not true. See you at the gym. So today's session we had 12 minutes to max out our power clean and then 10 minutes to max out our 3 rep max deadlift, and I really wasn't expecting this. On the power clean I got triple digits in kilos, which is, so I got 100 kilos for the first time for a power clean. My current squat clean it's like 110 and my power clean is now 100 kilos, which is a huge milestone. I'm really pleased. And then after that, this is also completely insane. For my 3 rep max deadlift I ended up getting 160 kilos for 3, and my last recorded 3 rep max is only 135, so that's nearly 30 kilos added on top of it. It literally blew my mind. I don't know how I'm even getting that kind of weight. I'm only training 4 days a week at the moment and I'm PBing like crazy. I'll do a full update video on like my CrossFit progress recently, and then obviously after that we did a WOD and it was like DT in a partner but with calories in between, so it was like D deadlifts 50 calories, 35 hang power cleans 35 calories, 20 shoulder to overhead 20 calories, and we whizzed through it in like well under 10 minutes. It was good fun. I think we got like 7 minutes 30 or something, I don't know. So in my first 2 years of CrossFit I only did classes and I started to build in some like pull-up strength work in order to get my first pull-up, because it took me quite a long time to get my first pull-up. I also sell programs now that's based off of what I did in open gym in order to get my first pull-up, so if you're interested in them the link is below and you can purchase that. My programs are specifically aimed at people that are heavier and that need to build more strength in order to get their gymnastics, because when you're heavier it is slightly more difficult, but you don't need to lose weight, you can just get stronger, and that's what they're based off. Gradually I started adding in stuff to work on my weaknesses around the class programming, but again that wasn't like a full-on open gym program. I wasn't on some like competitors programming. I have literally done classes 99% of the time, and there was a few occasions where I did like hop on to an individualized program. I did that during lockdown, but that didn't really work because I didn't have the time to train because I was still working. It was crazy because of the job that I had, and I was trying to do it in the garage and that was a nightmare. And then at another point I hopped on an individualized program while I was at the other gym, and that was because they did less CrossFit. It was more like just functional fitness. They didn't do a lot of the gymnastic stuff, and although I really loved it, it wasn't that motivating for me. I found it much better for me to do classes because I've got more motivation, I push harder, and I love working out in like a team and a pair. It is not a requirement. You don't even have to do that bit on the side. There are competitions for all abilities and all levels. You can find a scale competition with the weights being super light and with like scale gymnastics movements. There are intermediate competitions with the weights slightly higher, but also like none of the complex gymnastic stuff like muscle ups or handstand walks, etc. You don't have to do anything special in order to compete. You could literally compete today if you wanted to. There are even like competitions that are like CrossFit but not really CrossFit. Like we've got a few in the UK, like I know National Fitness Games, they do stuff that don't include any like Olympic weightlifting. They do like basic functional movements, and then they also have the elite category that's more like CrossFit. And there's also stuff like High Rocks out there where there are no complex movements, where it's not like CrossFit, it's just fitness. Obviously it is recommended to train for a competition if you want to do your absolute best, but also you don't have to compete to win. You can literally just compete because you want to and because you want to enjoy it, and you don't owe anybody any level of athletic performance. You don't have to be good. This is literally a hobby that you do, and you do it to enjoy it. You have no obligation to be amazing at it. I think not enough people realise that. I'm feeling so drained after those deadlifts, it's completely ridiculous. I had a shower and then didn't do a whole lot for a couple of hours. I think sometimes you just get like massive like CNS fatigue when you max out. I think that's what's happened. So my deadlift is a great example. I had a 170 kilo deadlift during the first year of CrossFit with no other training other than classes, and there is no way you could argue that you wouldn't be able to compete if you've got a deadlift that's that big. I could RX most barbell movements. I still struggled with some gymnastics movements. There are competitions out there for all abilities. If you'd like to see some examples of that, watch this video next. This is a competition that I did recently, and I just did it for fun and enjoyment. Please fist bump that like button if you're considering entering a competition. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.